It's a pleasure to be here. First time, as already mentioned, ngena. My name, Dietmar, Chief Platform Officer of ngena. The term of ngena is somehow hard for everyone beside South Africans to spell it, because it's isiXhosa, and it's standing for get in, come in. But what does it mean? Because ngena is also an abbreviation, and ngena is standing for Next Generation Enterprise Network Alliance. So what would better fit than a word which stands and invites everyone to join the alliance, and then the abbreviation, which especially is focusing on building an alliance across the globe, but also to deliver next generation enterprise networks. And before I start, I would like to ask you all, because the term of the 2 days here is digital transformation and innovation. Who believes that the enterprise network, so the ones where we as user day by day working and enjoying the performance of it and having all the best user experience, is an important part of this whole transformation? So please, hands up. So the other ones are happy with their network. Congratulations, you have the right partner. You must be customer of us. Second, if you already heard something about SASE, or what does it stand for? Secure Access Service Edge. Have you heard about it? Okay, then digital transformation and innovation is the right place to introduce it to you, because SASE is an architecture which is more or less defined by Gartner from 2019. But it is just that these guys brought all the loose things together and the loose ends for getting this definition done. What I will do in the next roughly 30 minutes, I will go with you over what are current networking trends and challenges, because still, and when I'm going through the presentation, you will understand what is the core of ngena. ngena is an alliance. We are working exclusively with partner who is serving then our solution to the enterprises. So we are currently and still working across the globe, even if the pandemic is there, just virtual, so also enjoying this time first face-to-face event, that the network and the enterprise network still is on a stage where we can really call it legacy, because it's inflexible, it's there, it's secure, of course, and it fits the general purpose of what it's designed for. But seeing all the different use cases which are coming, and especially with the IT transformation, we need to start thinking about what we can do there. The second is, I will explain to you what SASE is standing for, that you get an idea. And then, of course, what does secure connectivity as a service mean? Because that is exactly where we are jumping in. We are a company here headquartered in Frankfurt in the meantime, across the globe with 10 offices from Singapore to Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, of course also here in Europe. Founded in 2016. And we came up exactly with the idea we need to bring the network closer to the transformation, to the IT, but as well also to where the whole transformation tends to the cloud. And that on a secure manner. And us as individuum to support us as best as we can to do our daily job and use all the fancy applications and the different kind of working, if it is agile, if it is DevOps, because at the end, I need to get access to data, because at the end, the data is key. So what are the networking and the trends? And as I already mentioned, the transformation of the network is clear that we need to start working on it. Because coming from a world where the network has the single purpose to connect sites on a very secure, performant manner, but not really focusing on all the different use cases which comes with nomadic usage, working from home, and. Because it was built to mainly connect servers and users and not to allow, for example, everyone access to the internet, just centrally. So therefore, the demand for more secure, flexible, and cheaper connectivity is, especially in getting access to the cloud, quite important. But cheaper connectivity means that it's a bad quality. Cheaper means compared to what we do see in today's network. But also these networks where we all are part of with our corporate environment, they still need to manage the shift from dedicated applications into the cloud and manage both. They have to bring the security to the user. That means not any longer having all the security in a data center, and wherever I am on the globe, if I'm sitting in Malaysia and I have a remote access and I need to go from Malaysia to my data center in Switzerland, that I get access to the 3D model of a production item which is stored in Singapore, that I'm waiting for hours to download it. No, it should be directly Malaysia, Singapore, because I'm a nomadic user and I'm sitting there and I need to work. But that is exactly the problem in today's networks. They are built very static, but of course secure. Also, the reduced complexity. We're all using, or hopefully all, cloud services. We know it's a single portal, we can do everything. It's a quite complex thing, but it is perceived as so simple because we just see the abstraction, the simplification. The complexity below is completely hidden for us as user. Why we don't do this also for the networking part? There we're still talking on the level that the command line interface is key, and as much you have certified engineers, the higher is your degree in networking. And that is also still a paradigm which is around. So why not using the same principles we have experienced now with AWS, with Google, with Alibaba, how simplification can help us. And finally, supporting all the different use cases, is if it is working from home, or the decentralization and globalization of organizations. I need to open a new site. Why I need to wait a month for it? Why it can't be done within days or weeks? If I do have a change, why I need to also wait weeks instead of hours or days? And that is something what we all took into consideration when we said we need a new era of networking. And thinking about a new era, there are currently 3 items which are key. The first is Internet WAN only, which means there where you have today a dedicated line, you simply can use internet. Second is cloud-based security. Because why I should have always on each and every site security just for secure internet access if I anyhow need to treat it as a very unstable, complex and inflexible system. And thirdly, the term SASE, which is now around, which stands for Secure Access Service Edge, which is an architecture which integrates the first 2, but also even more, because it's standing for a complete migration of traditional networks into the new era. And also Gartner brought up some interesting numbers that by 2023, nearby 30% of all enterprise sites are WAN internet only. What does it mean? It's more or less the same what you're experiencing at home. You have a very good connectivity. Why you should spend 5 to 10 times more just on connectivity cost if the performance is not that better? If you can bring the security level, which should be the same than on your office side, also to your home, but you don't see it because it's not your complexity you need to handle, it's a perfect deal. And with that, getting direct access to all the cloud workloads which are on the VPC or on the VNet or wherever. The same with cloud-based security. Still UTMs and all the small devices you see in the offices around, they are key. But to be honest, a 7-year-old device, not managed, not patched with a release date which is already outdated, do you really believe that is secure? Hey, compliance is okay because I do have this on site. So my security is given. But from a real security perspective, this device is by no means really covering or securing your data. It's just that it's there, and from a compliance perspective, you are fine. And finally, and that is again this term of SASE, by 2025, more than 60% of all the enterprises would like to have these on their agenda, not just as a strategical item, already have execution plans and time plans to integrate it. Now you can say, hey, we have 2021, Dietmar, what I am saying, 2025 is 4 years ahead. That's right. But unfortunately, in networking, speak, so to say, that is quite fast, the adoption rate, because there we have general terms of 5 to 10 years. But to be honest, I do believe it will go much faster, because with our partners globally, we see currently that nearby each and every customer is already asking exactly for these functionalities. And the good thing is, you don't need to replace everything. So it's more evolution and not always a revolution. So you can start adding it piece by piece, but of course you need to be sure what is the end solution. And of course there are challenges, because even if the word SASE, and please kill me when I say it 10 times, because then you definitely can't hear it any longer, but this term is currently used from so many different angles that someone who believes understood it hears that, hey, I do also offer this kind of services. They are comparing it. The bad thing is, it's not really that if the one offers this solution, it's the same than the other. Also in functionality. So that it might be that there is sitting a CIO who says, hey, I do get a SASE-ready solution implemented. And when then it comes to the use cases, he says, yeah, but if we really can replace the existing network, I think so, because that is my understanding of SASE. But the vendor says, no, sorry, I have just cloud security. So the traditional network connecting your production site to the headquarters, that's not my business. And there you see the complexity of using these buzzwords without knowing what's below, because it's not a trademark, it's just that everyone knows what's standing for. The second one is that also custom applications, and we are not all cloud ready to 100%. I can say for Jena, for example, we don't have any, at least for our IT, Office IT and all the applications, we don't have any on a private server. We have everything on cloud. The only thing where we really have also an own network is for our production environment. Because there we don't find a cloud solution, because we are running a cloud solution by ourselves. So we need to have direct access to it. But that is exactly the topic. If you need to replace it as an enterprise, you need to be sure that, hey, also my specific CAD program for designing the chips, my design program needs to be accessible. And finally, what is with my legacy network? Is it really what I'm looking for, that I can transform it? Or do I still have 2 or 3 elements beside? Because then it starts from not the implementation hassle, but more from an operational hassle. Because if you have an outage of your data center and then you have 3 different providers who say, no, it's this guy, it doesn't help. You are disconnected from your data, your customer is complaining, and the guys who are running the network saying, no, it's always the other. What is SASE? I think it's now the 8th time. SASE brings together network as a service and security network as a service as a kind of market convergence, so that from the idea what is behind, you can replace all the different things in networking. That means if you really deliver how it's defined, there is for the CIO no longer the need to run any other architecture / network than a SASE one. Challenge is there is by far most of them who can really deliver it, because they are just delivering a portion of it. And this networking and security service together as a unified cloud delivered as a service means, hey, it's what I see with AWS and all the cloud networking services, or what I can do with GCP. I can simply build there my network fully virtualized, just sitting in front of a portal. But this time it's not focusing on it's on a dedicated cloud environment. No, it's a global network. If you have 100 sites across the globe, if you have just 20 on a domestic market, if you have 500 internationally, all this with the same logic, with the same principles, and as a service, which means no high upfront costs. It's just monthly recurring. And coming back to the use cases, beside all the different types of networks, and you might also know from home, these three are the most important one if you're talking really about the new age. Because it should be quite native for a developer to get access to the workloads in a high performant manner, and that's secure. Because more and more, also my whole DevOps processes are running based on shifting and moving workloads, doing regression tests with it, sharing codes on the daily build, building then on the daily build all the different production elements. And therefore I need a high performant access. Even I can build on a cloud platform all my different pre-production platforms up to the one where I just have a quality check-in. But there I need direct access. And I don't want to sit in office. I would sit wherever I like. Working from anywhere is key, but secure. The same with, we're using Office 365 Salesforce. I don't want to wait. I need direct access. And I don't want to go from where I'm currently located to my central gateway, break out there and hope that I have no congestion within my own network, because the rare source is not the internet. It's simply our gateway, which is designed to break out the traffic to the internet. Or finally, coming back to service icon as one element, I need to get access to my application, which is running on a private data center. What is secure connectivity as a service? And coming back to GENA, Next Generation Enterprise Network, and the Alliance, what we have done is exactly considering all of these elements before even SASE was defined. And some of you might also know SD-WAN. When we started, SD-WAN was also not really known. We built all of our principles based on software-defined networking. How to virtualize physical devices, deploying them fully automated wherever they are needed, and that on a secure manner. So zero trust was key for us, even if zero trust was not in each and every mouth, because it was accepted at that point in time. I mean, we started 2015 with the concept, launched the company in 2016. And also the typical, and you see it there on the left-hand side, the legacy network, which was centered around the data center. And the data center was key because there I had my applications, there I had the secure access to my internet, and all the remote users dialed in on the data center. And the shift towards, no, the center are the cloud applications, if it is SaaS, if it is IaaS, if it is a private data center or a private cloud, and then adding the security there. And the user is just an element which needs to be linked to the workloads and not the other way around. And that on a way that all the processes which are focusing on deploying the service are automated. And that is, for example, we are running global managed network services. Means also we take care with a complete end-to-end process that, for example, in Afghanistan now, we have customers still there, and even if there is a bad situation, but we are deploying there day by day new devices and running their services, because it is core of the industry to be connected. And that is also part what we are delivering. Or in Germany, of course we have customers in Germany. But can we optimize everything? No. Also in Germany, we need to wait 3 or 4 months for an access line if it's not available. So we can't virtualize everything. So don't get me wrong. There are some limitations where we have to stick to. So if there is no access line to that building, also we need to wait 3 to 4 months that someone starts digging it, or that an already occupied one gets free and we can get it. But beside that, we have optimized all the processes, automated everything with a model-driven approach, so that even let me say, a well-educated engineer, not a specialist, can design the network around the globe. And why we can do it? Because we build on the center of our platform data models. And we heard in one of the sessions this afternoon, data is key. And indeed, data is key. And if you know what is the pattern of a configuration, if you know how to repeat it, if you know that from a topology of a corporate, you can derive out of that completely all the needed configurations without knowing what is the technology requirement. That is what we have done, and then added all the 6 layers around to deliver a complete network. And that with 24/7 managed, so that we, as ngena, taken over the complexity for our partners, who are then interfacing all the enterprises with a complete service which is powered by ngena. And what we did there, and what we did there, I have Kemi with me, and Kemi is our mascot. Kemi is a chameleon. And why chameleon? Because everyone thinks a lovely animal would be better fit than a chameleon, because it's adaptable to the environment. And that is exactly what ngena is standing for in our secure connectivity as a service, but also what we all need in our business. We need adaptable to the current situation. We can't stick to old principles, because then we don't survive. On the other hand, the chameleon is standing for all the different colors of our partners. Because as I said, we are an alliance, and what would better fit than a chameleon which can adapt all the different colors?
Crikey, what a disaster. Complicated and expensive. You know, connectivity can be a tangled mess, but with ngena, it doesn't have to be. A secure, configurable network as a service right at your fingertips. All you have to do is select, enhance, and deploy. That's all you need. This is ngena. Join the one-touch connectivity world.
Yeah, thank you, Kemi. And with respect to the time, I'm shorten a little bit. And you see exactly the 3 steps which are quite important. Select, enhance, deploy, because that is what we automated. So beside all the technology stack, and if you're thinking about networking, it's all about the technology. On the other hand, it's all about processes and automatization. And that is the other half of what we did, just to enable our partners, and coming back to our partners who are not always specialists in networking, who are system integrator, and you will on my last slide see the ones which are currently the ones for Europe. They are system integrator. They have, of course, experience in how to design, but not how to operate networks. And we simply take over. And with that, and as already introduced, a new topic for this round. It's about networking, enterprise networking, and the new way of how we translated the challenges of digital transformation and innovation into a service which you can consume, which is up and running, which is already used by multiple enterprises around the globe, where we can say everyone, and just last week I had with a very famous German company and the CIO a nice discussion about it, because they're exactly looking for how to manage this networking challenge, because it's, as already introduced, underestimated in the whole digitalization strategy, because we are looking quite often to processes and applications, but at the end it needs to be enabled, and there the unsexy network needs to be there. It is what it is. We know that we are not the trendsetter, we are the enabler. And with our solution, our partners can say the digital strategy is SASE ready and SASE enabled, can rely on secure connectivity because that is what we built in, and of course can trust on a global partner ecosystem because that is what we are delivering with all the partners around. And here just you see the partners who are our go-to-market partners in Middle Europe or Western Europe. Of course, if you're interested in starting also collaboration or getting partner, feel free to contact me. Or if you're interested in getting more insight in the digital transformation, these are the partners, and happy to answer your question now. Or better, we do have 5:30, I think, a roundtable question and answer round. But for now, thank you very much, and also a nice thank you from Kemi.